So you're saying that one of the victims had actually managed to escape, and two of your officers escorted him back to Dahmer's.
Wait. You're just gonna let him take this baby back inside?
Man, let us do our job.
Hey everybody, and thank you for watching another video. My name is Merge, and with the release of Netflix's latest limited series Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer Story starring Evan Peters as the title character, showing us not only the life of the renowned serial killer, but also the impact that he had on the victims' families, his neighbors, and even his own parents, which I feel is the biggest strength of the series. Just having that point of view from how the people were affected even after his arrest, because although there's probably hundreds of documentaries, reenactments, and books about him, I think this should be the definitive version. Granted, it's not perfect by any means, but I feel it manages to cover Dahmer's life from his first kill to his last breath, and unlike other retellings, there's no sympathetic angle to this character. They don't try to paint him as a tortured soul or a traumatized youth. I mean, I'm sure they took some liberties with the story, but what I got from watching this, it explored the aftermath of his crimes and the trauma that he left his surviving victims and their families. So in this video, I'll be giving my review about the series, not really a play-by-play, but just talking about what I think worked and what didn't work in the series. And before we get started, if you could leave a like on this video to support the channel, and even consider subscribing and stay up to date with the latest content, I'd appreciate it. And of course, spoiler alert for the series, but I mean, if you know the story of Jeffrey Dahmer, what I'm about to say isn't really going to be nothing new. So when it comes to biopics and docuseries about serial killers, especially with a Netflix production, I think they try to paint these people like they're just misunderstood or what they did was somehow justified by their upbringing, when in actuality, they were just evil people. John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, like these are serial killers who you don't have to understand why they did what they did. They just are, you know, evil just is sometimes. And with this series, I feel like it embraced Jeffrey Dahmer's evil because that's just what it was. And throughout the series, he even admits to it multiple times, even requesting for the electric chair for his crimes. And even when his dad and lawyer was trying to pass off his actions as insanity, Dahmer himself was just like, nah, that was me. I'm not crazy. I know what I did. And with every episode, we understand more and more that that's just who he was. Why? We don't know. Who knows? He doesn't even know. And the series kind of hints at the idea that maybe it was his mom taking pills when she was pregnant with him, or even his dad taking him to dissect roadkill when he was younger, but no one really knows truly. For example, there's an episode where he finds someone he truly likes, and it's a really touching episode giving us a backstory to Tony Hughes, an aspiring model who was deaf who had crossed paths with Dahmer. And for a second, just a second, you may have forgotten that you were watching a series about a cannibalistic serial killer, but for whatever reason, the episode ends with Dahmer killing him as well. But like I said, the strength of this series really comes from the point of view of its victims because it really adds an extra layer to that moment in history, like his next door neighbor Glenda Cleveland, who played a pivotal role in highlighting the police negligence when she called the police over 50 times on Dahmer, especially in regards to 14-year-old, and I do apologize if I butchered his name, Conrad Sit. Nope, I'm not even gonna try it. It's right here. But in this situation, Jeffrey Dahmer had drilled a hole in the top of his skull and poured acid in it in an attempt to turn him into a zombie, and he managed to escape just for the police to bring him right back to Dahmer's apartment. And I heard the actual call in other media before, but it's something about seeing it that makes you really feel from the victim's fate and even the frustration that you get from Glenda Cleveland's point of view. But what makes this situation even more heartbreaking was the fact that years earlier, older brother to Conrad went through the exact same thing with Dahmer, but he managed to escape and was able to put Dahmer in jail for sexual assault on a minor for an entire year. Yeah, justice. I mean, they try to address the racism element, but I feel they don't fully commit, and the biggest example I can give to this was in the last episode when those same negligent police were reinstated, and at the same time, Glenda Cleveland was given some humanitarian award, which I guess for the producers, they were just going, see? Everyone wins. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I know everything there is to know about Jeffrey Dahmer. Up until this series, I only knew the basics about him. You know, the fact that he ate people, the zombie situation, and of course his death. And what I can say is the stuff that I did know about him was portrayed well in my opinion in this series. Especially when it came to his death, which, not to sound sadistic, but I always wanted to know what that would have looked like because all I knew that it involved something with a dumbbell. And this is likely where they took some liberties with the series because the way it all happened, it was something right out of the Punisher series.
And I did it because I liked it. Hell, I loved it.
But in the end, the Netflix limited series Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer Story is maybe one of the best pieces of media detailing the impact that Jeffrey Dahmer had on the world, in my opinion. Could it have been 3 episodes shorter? Yes, but I'd still recommend this to anyone who wants to know more about the history of the victims and their families, but please don't depend on this series for cold hard facts because I don't think I have to mention that this is the fictional retelling of his life, so don't come at me about what the show missed because I really don't care. But I throw it off to you. What did you think of the series? Have you seen it? What did you think? What were your thoughts? And what did you feel about his death? Whatever it is, let me know down below in the comments and I'll do my best to respond. Until then, my name is Merge. Later.